documentation. Document and documentation is the heart and soul in NAAC accreditation. While writing SSR, as you know, this is the most important things to do is data collection and maintaining well documentation. To enlighten us with this topic, we have with us Dr. Smita Asthana, the vibrant and dynamic Dean Academics, UGC Scheme Paramarsh Ambassador, IQAC Coordinator at St.Ann's College for Women. Dr. Smita Asthana, a passionate teacher, role model, and inspiration for many youngsters, definition for success and epitome for perfectionism, and strong pillar of St.Ann's leading with 3 consecutive cycles of NAAC, A, and A+ grading respectively. Ma'am has more than 35 years of experience in teaching and research. She has been the recipient of various awards. To name a few, Meritorious State Teacher Award from Government of Telangana, Rashtriya Ratan Bharat Excellence Award from Friendship Forum of India, Shining Achiever Award, and Indira Gandhi Award for Excellence. Her tremendous contribution towards the field of education in organizing conferences at national and international level, undertaking research projects, publishing books, research articles, guiding scholars, etc. is ceaseless. May I now invite Dr. Smita Asthana, IQAC Coordinator, to shed light on document and documentation. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Poppy. Thank you so much. Yes, I'm committed to St.Ann's 35 years of teaching and research, and of course my heart is in what? NAAC. So here let me share my views, my experiences, and everything that I know of. Yes, let me come to my screen, slide number 1. To start with, as Ms. Poppy has said that I have done for 3 cycles, that is almost 17 years. I had some more achievements, I would say. My first NAAC achievement, I would always say that, oh, where are my slides? Oh, so there is some technical problem. Just give me 2 minutes. Just give me 2 minutes. So yeah, I was telling you about my experience. The first NAAC I said I got BP. Second NAAC I got spondylitis. And third NAAC I got carpal tunnel syndrome. So these are my personal achievements. But yes, it had been a thoroughly enjoyable journey, and I have really, really enjoyed. There is some, my PowerPoint is not opening. Just give me 1 more minute. Yes, I'm back. So yes, my topic is document and documentation, and this is the last day and last session. So we can do with 2 things. Either it is a dessert or it's a medicine for indigestion. So let's decide what is this for us. And I have also put a small picture that the entire weight of assessment is on our shoulders, especially, let us say, from the IQAC. So why to do it? Now this why to do has been an old question now, but still there are institutions we think we are very happy being what we are. Why should we do it? But yes, one thing is that we should be challenging ourselves all the time. If you want to lead a happy life, a contentful life, there should always be challenges. And NAAC assessment is not for somebody else. It is for us. It is for our institution. It is all about belonging to our institution and enhance its quality. The certification will be a consequence, but we should be proud of what we are doing. We should take new challenges with great pride. We should say, I work in this college. This is what I have done. A smallest contribution is also something very great. So how do we start? Very quickly we can say that no one can know the potential of a life that is committed to win, explore the dimensions of greatness, and believe that word can be won by a mind that is fully committed, knowing that the task can be done. So our work of document and documentation will come first. We should begin with motivation. The team IQAC should be totally self-motivated. In fact, every member of the family of that institution, we always pride ourselves by saying St.Ann's family. So every member should be self-motivated. And yes, we have to conduct number of faculty level seminars to acquaint people about the whole process of NAAC assessment. We should have faculty-wise meetings. We should have department meetings. We need to choose leaders. We have to identify some people who have it more than others, who can motivate others. And we have to involve students all the time. We have to set a timeline. This timeline, as I foresee that most of you might be going for NAAC assessment in next 2 years. So start counting from backwards, that what is our timeline? What are our goals? Let's not have always stars and galaxy. Let us have goals around us. Make a timetable, periodically evaluate that and stick to it. We have to keep questioning ourselves. We have to keep reinventing ourselves. We have to do SWOT analysis. We have to do skill updation. Most important is innovation. We have to all be thinking all the time, what else I can do? And it's a good idea to visit other colleges. So yes, what do I do now? Let me start learning. Now there's some words I want to share with you. We keep talking about documents, data. I give you a simple connector. There is, at the first level, it is information. We hear something, oh, this department has done something. That person has achieved this. That is information. Now, if I were to connect to say, a simple day life example, let's say I go for running. So somebody says, oh, Smita goes for running. That is an information. We got it. Then it has to be changed into data. What do? I wear a wristband so that I can record how much distance I walk, how much time I walk, what is my heartbeat, what is my pulse, what is my speed. So when I attach all this information to the information that I go for a walk, it becomes a data. So that is data which has all the information collected into one place. Then now this data has to become a document. How does it become a document? I prepare a report. Okay, every day morning 7 to 8 I go for running. This is my speed. These days are better. I go for walk when there is sunshine, or where I go it is a rain and my speed gets affected. So all this I will prepare a report, then it becomes a document. Now these documents need to be validated. How do we validate it? I should have somebody who records that, okay, I left the place at 7:30. I returned at 8:30. I went to a park. That gatekeeper has given me a receipt. So this is validated. People have verified that I'm doing it. And then I get a certificate that, yes, I have done 1,000 kilometers of walking in a given period. So that becomes a validated data. And then this data has to go into a data management system. Any information we became data to document, to become a validated document, has to now go into a data management system. So these are the steps we follow in general to make a good report. So first thing we have, institution has to identify its organogram. That means how do we function as an institution? A very simple one would be that principal is at the helm of the affair. There may be deans and vice principal, and there is an IQAC. Previously, we used to think IQAC is only after assessment, but no, all colleges must have an IQAC. And then below this hierarchy, we have departments, we have other centers, we have various committees, we have administrative office. So this is a rough structure of hierarchy. That's how we work. For example, in our college, principal is at the center representing the management and the correspondent. Then we have one group where we have deans, IQAC coordinator, being autonomous, we have controller of exams, we have additional controllers. In one group, we have administrative staff and auxiliary staff, non-teaching staff. Then we have an academic group of heads of the departments. Then we have committee conveners, and we have certain mandatory reporters. Just to share with you that we follow dean system. We have 3 deans and 1 controller of exam. We have dean administration. You heard Ms. Meena Patange. You have dean academics and IQAC coordinator, yours faithfully. We have dean student affairs, Dr. Radhika, Ms. Mahita, Dr. Nirmala, and we have controller of exams. You heard Dr. Radhe, you heard Mrs. Vijayavali, and then every dean has certain responsibilities. So like this, institutional governance is set. So we know that for everything, who has to be approached and what needs to be done. And then we understand that there is a work pyramid for NAAC assessment. The IQAC coordinator can also be the NAAC coordinator or the steering committee coordinator. And then we divide into 7 criteria teams. And these teams will be in touch with the departments, with the committees, with the cells and clubs and admin office. So this would be our work pyramid. Now, where do we get our data from? We have been talking that we need data, we need data. I just want to ask you, many of you must be hearing, oh, NAAC means a lot of data. We have to give a lot of data. Is it true? Yes, very much true. You heard it absolutely right. We have to give more data than what you heard. But the journey is very, very enjoyable. So the data comes from 6 major sources. We have academic departments, that is subject departments. Then we constitute some committees which are pertaining to the academic matters. Then we have certain administrative committees. Then we have certain non-academic centers or departments. And then we have administrative office and we have mentors. So these are 6 major sources from data comes from. Now this is our system and we found it to be working. So you can also think on these lines. Yes, the following slides are very much data intensive. So the first source of data is academic department. So I suggest that all departments means the subjects, academic departments, prepare a list of files which are needed. Let me share with you that when I started my work in 2004, and principal very happily asked me, what do you want? Go ahead. I said, I just need 1,000 files. What, 1,000 files? I said, yes, to start with. So reluctantly, she gave me 1,000 files, and then we realized we needed another 1,000. So now these are certain files which should be maintained by each department. If you look at this table, it gives you a suggested timetable, suggestions to how we have done it. And the first column, if you see, is serial number. So you can give serial number to your files 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's ignore the second column. Let's go to third column, that is title. So for example, your file is teaching plans, schedules, and timetable. So whatever teaching plans you have made about your subject that you teach, the synopsis, the important points, and what is the schedule? How do I cover the syllabus in a semester? That is teaching schedule. And what is the timetable in each department? This information can go into file number 1. And now you see I have written metric number 1.111. So if this file is ready, this data will be used to fill up the answer to the metric question number 1.111. So now you see all these red marks are the information that will be helpful to write the answer to a given question. The questions may change every 2-3 years, something will change. So this is the idea that you prepare a sheet like this. The second file is what are the programs that are offered involving your department, what are the courses that you are offering, in which year the program started, and whatever is the approval, university approval or board of studies approval, that approval should come. And this would be helpful to fill up the answer of 1.1.2 and 1.2.1. Now, I will not repeat this point. You can just understand the idea behind it. A file in department should have awards recognition at national, international, government, and other recognized body. Also, faculty as resource person, faculty as BOS members. I would just like to share a small anecdote when we had in second visit, very illustrious chairperson. So when we showed our awards, how nicely said, darling, these are all national. You should try for international. You should have collaboration and awards from Wharton and Harvard Business School. We still wish, didn't get fulfilled as yet. Okay. Then file number 4 can have list of courses each department is offering. Suppose in chemistry, in 6 semesters, we have 8 courses. So for each course, what is the list of course? And then if you are offering any other value-added courses like certificate course or interdisciplinary course or career-oriented course, we should have a list of all courses. Then next file may have field projects and internship. Now field projects are little different from field visit. Yes, we can also include field visit, but if we give an objective to students about what they will do in that field trip, then it becomes a field project. They do some interviews, they do some survey, and they prepare a report, so it can become a field project. And internships, of course, we know what internships are. So this file should have all the data about field projects, field trips, and internship. A very important document in the department is feedback on syllabus. Now, affiliated colleges may feel that we have no role in syllabus training. So why should we take the feedback? 2 things. One, you may be a board of studies member where this information on feedback will be useful to represent. Even if you are not BOS member, you collect this feedback, you send it to university on your own, that this is the feedback which we have taken about this course and these are the suggestions, maybe it will be useful. So this is just one beginning of the departmental files. And yes, all data needs to be validated, should be authenticated with supporting documents. For example, if there is a teaching plan, head of the department should sign on the teaching plan. For example, there's an internship, we should have that MOU with the institution or the industry, correspondence should be there, dated and signed. Every document should be dated and signed. So next file would be program for advanced learners and slow learners. We had a discussion yesterday. Now you have to identify who are the advanced learners. Write a note on how have you identified the advanced learners. What is your method of identifying the slow learners? How do we decide who need remedial classes? We can say that depending on the entry level performance we have identified, or we had a first unit test, based on that we have identified, or we have interactions when they come for lab for science departments. There we have identified. So in this file, you should write the methodology to identify the various category of students and then list of students. And then what are we going to do with the remedial classes? So the course content should be ready. I will take 5 classes. In each class, I will teach this. I will conduct 2 tests. So course content should be there. And then what happened after taking this, say, remedial classes? Was there an improvement in their performance? So there should be a data saying that before remedial courses, this was the performance of students. After remedial coaching, this is the performance of students. And then bridge course, as we discussed on day 1, that this is to bridge the gap between what they learned at +2 level and what they are learning in undergrad or from undergrad to postgraduate. So again, there should be a syllabus that for 6 classes, this is what we are going to teach, who is going to teach, and how it is going to be handled. And all this information will be helpful to answer 2.2.1. Okay. Next is teaching learning process 2.3.1. What are the methods that we are using in the department? Every department can mention what is the innovation that they are doing, whether they are doing buddy tutoring, peer tutoring, vernacular teaching, assignment, case studies, whatever methods you are, please write in this file, in this document, and don't copy same thing for everyone. You have to do different things in different years. The next file in the department can be a list of ECT and ICT and e-resources. What are PPTs are being made by the faculty? Have you prepared any e-manuals? All lab manuals can be prepared into e-form and they become e-manual, and it will be a great resource for students. We can all record our videos. This is the era of technology, era of smartphones and smart people. The wealth of experience which we have should be recorded somewhere for posterity. So take cell phone, just record a 5-minute video of your course. You will have a library of videos. And other resources, some of you may have a website, free website, and other web links. The Word is your platform. Then next file should be faculty profile. Every year we should make a faculty profile for each person. What is their qualification, experience, parent university, and if there is any enhancement, any additional courses the person has done, this information will be used twice. It should also have Aadhaar card, PAN card, email ID, phone number. You know, sometimes we had a problem. We missed somebody who left college 3 years ago. How to get the data, PAN card, especially PAN card data. Or we had to locate her and then ask her for a PAN card number and then we had to enter. So no damage done. Then a file should have end semester question papers and CIA question papers. What is the pattern? What is the evaluation scheme? And if possible, a key to the question paper so that there is a uniformity in valuation. Then 2.6.1 is a little important and was not clear in the beginning, now clear to all. What are program specific outcomes? What are course outcomes? What is the syllabus? And prepare a course profile booklet. This course profile will start with your objectives, your expected outcomes, what are the methodology that you are using, what are the reference books you are using, what are the other resources that you are using, what kind of question paper can be asked, what kind of quiz you may conduct. So all this information for every course will become one course profile. All this hard work is for 1 year. Then it is only improvement on that. Okay? Then you should be able to record attainment of course outcomes. Especially for autonomous colleges, we have certain course objectives expected, and based on the result of the students, based on the feedback, we have to calculate attainment of course outcomes. We have devised our own formula, which we can share it at some other time. Then our next file should be result. Every year, every semester, what is our result? And we should map it at the time of joining. This was the result. Over the semester, how it has changed. So that you have to keep recording about the results. Then next file would be student feedback on teaching. This is not exactly 2.7.1, but it is also that every year we should take a feedback from students about the teaching. No discussion required for that. A very important file is academic activities organized. Whatever conferences that we have organized, guest lecture, workshop, training program. And for everything, there should be a small booklet. We should have brochure, invitation, list of participants, the profile of the resource person that have come, and then a concluding report. All this will become a habit. In the beginning, it looks too much. Then next file would be seed money and financial assistance. It is used at 2-3 places. In criteria 6, how much institution is giving. It will be a good idea for all principals who are listening to give at least 10,000 as seed money to initiate research work. Then file number 3.1.1 and 2 would be if faculty has any MRPs, if faculty is as research guides. I'm not repeating that authenticated data should be present. The next would be workshop and seminars conducted only research related. Please conduct one seminar every year on research methodology, research techniques, how to do search engines, how to write research projects, what are the funding of research. This information will be very useful. Difficult one, next one is citation index, H index, Web of Science, Scopus index. All this will be done automatically if you have entered correctly the title and the author. And as we mentioned yesterday, please publish only in standard journals. Minimum is UDC website. You can check and then you can go for those journals. Books and chapters in edited volumes. It will be very nice if you can write books or you can have chapters. All this cover page, you take a printout and keep it ready in your file. The book should be available in the department. Consultancy wherever applicable. It is very nice. You can have mutual consultancies. You can approach some institution. You can offer your expertise. In the process, we can also have an MOUs. We can do some small project work. Many of my colleagues have done small projects for industry. They are a resource person in the teaching by Wipro, by Bits Pilani. They have contributed to Kendriya Vidyalaya. So just see where you can make use of you. Another important file is extension activities. Yesterday, Ms. Jyoti gave good details of what all can be done. Now, that is at institutional level. Every department should take up one activity at their department level and see what you can do for that. There's a question, but I think we will take questions a little later. So extension active, like for example, in our chemistry department, we say use less plastic. We started with saying no to plastics. It became very difficult. So we said use less plastics. So all our efforts, we stand outside the college and what we do is we collect old bed sheets and saris. We make bags out of it. And in front of the gate, anybody is carrying a plastic packet, we take away the plastic packet and we give them a cloth packet. So that is how our department is doing. The science departments have a mobile science van, which they take it to the villages, to the other schools and show. Then awards and recognition received for extension activities by the department and not the centralized one. The student participation in extension activities, for everything, you should have a list of students who have been involved. Something I would like to share here is that in one of our activities, we took students to an old age home so that these youngsters could interact with senior citizens. It was so emotional and overwhelming that the senior citizens started crying, these students started crying, and there were so much of emotional interactions. The best part was that after some time, the actual grandparents told, some change is there in my granddaughter. Suddenly she takes so much of care of me. So that was the impact of an extension activity. Yes, we should try to have collaborations with industry, with institutions, nationally and internationally. Whenever I meet somebody who is an international academic field, I immediately ask, will you collaborate with me? They will think crazy lady, but that is how we have to work. Linkages, then what are the outcomes of those linkages, and then a formal copy. Prepare a format of MOU, circulate to all departments that this should be the format. We are still on department files. There are 40 files. So yes, what are the department infrastructure facilities? Every year, we may buy better equipments. Don't write from, as I say, in chemistry, test tubes and burettes, but instruments costing at least 10,000 or more. And we are adding year after year. Total budget can be mentioned. What are the ICT facilities available to my department? Do I have a LCD projector? Do I have an overhead projector? Like this, whether we have any facilities. Then yes, a small department library. As I told you yesterday, even if it is one shelf in an almirah in a common room labeled department library, I think that should be good. Okay? Then another file should have total expenditure on purchasing and maintenance. Mentorship file, because the mentors belong to the departments. So each mentor should have her own file, which can be consolidated here. Then whether department we are conducting any career counseling or guidance for competitive exams, and whatever is the outcome, how many students join, what is the benefit. Doesn't matter even if one student is benefited, somebody is benefited. More important, we are making all these efforts. So again, for these things, you have to have profile of resource person, the content that you are going to deliver for exams or for career counseling, and a feedback from students. Everything should have a feedback. Then placements, there will be an institutional placement report, but if anybody does something in your subject, you can make it as a placement. Include that data. Let it be repetitive also, doesn't matter. BZC can have, go to botany, can go to zoology, can go to chemistry, doesn't matter. Then student progression of higher studies, very difficult to get this data because once students leave, not many come back to us. So you have to connect it to something. Like we are autonomous, we say you will get your convocation certificate only when you tell us what you are doing. And social media is there, keep asking, and you have to give the rank card. Oral communication is not enough. A copy of rank card that you have joined this college, some documentary evidence should be there. And more difficult is students qualified for SET, SLET, GATE, state exams and other exams. I wish you all the very best. If you find some good method, tell me also. We are only using social media, and after students, anybody comes to our college, we first ask, what are you doing? Give us a letter, certificate that you are doing this. Then alumni file, every year, list of students, what are they doing, their financial contribution and also non-financial contribution. They can be resource persons, they can be mentors to our students. All that comes under alumni engagement. Departments should be encouraged to do some newsletter, wall magazines. Wall magazine, very easy, make a timetable, every class will do it for 1 week. You have wall magazine ready. Newsletter, online blog, you create, your newsletter is ready. Last bunch of department files, academic support to teachers to attend academic event. You should have a request letter to principal where she should sign and give it to you, and then you will receive in your account or check. Cash vouchers are highly discouraged. So that's all that should be there. And a receipt, when I went to attend a conference, they will give a receipt. That receipt should be there in this. And interestingly, as Mrs. Vijayvalli told you, that data validation team asked us for certificate of 1 person scanned copy for a given conference. So all data should be there. And then minutes of department meetings are very useful for when we go for qualitative discussions, that everything is planned in the department, and that is how this file will be useful. And then academic extension activities which you have attended. Most important, participation certificate, paper presented, a scanned copy should be made available. Then resource generated for departmental events. Any seminar is there, we go around with begging balls. We keep asking, you can put up a stall, you can have an info session, but give us money. So whatever we could do for a department, there are departments who are able to source out money for medals from well-wishers. So all that will be resource generated at department events. Then we must have a green lean. What is the department contribution for a green practice? At least one small effort you should make. You know, some days we conduct a competition for students in lunchtime. Go around and collect as many plastic waste you get. We give them a bag. They will come and count. The one who gets maximum is awarded, and the campus gets cleaned also. Then departments should have some unique feature, some best practice that they are following. And yes, all this should come in annual report, and which we can format on as AQAR. So we give them the same questions and they will answer whatever is relevant to them. That becomes an AQAR, and then it comes from the annual reports of the department. So this is our first and most important source of data, that is from the departments. Then we are like ministries. For everything there is a ministry. Central minister, state minister. So we have academic committees which deal about the academic matters which are centralized. For example, your file number 1 is awards and medals. Every year, how many students are getting medals or awards. Now we are autonomous, so our awards are like university medals. But previously also, to encourage our students, the management had decided to give medals to toppers, to all the students. Even if it is plastic medal, doesn't matter. But in front of everybody, receiving that medal is a great pleasure and motivation for students. So who are the sponsors? What are the lists? They go into file number 1 in the academic committee. Now these are centralized committees. And then there should be a conduct of examination committee with timetable, notices, seating plans, any malpractices, all this should go. And if you're autonomous, you will have a separate full-fledged exam cell. Then there should be an eco club promoting environmental concern. Very important. We have a very active eco club. Students members are there, faculty members are there, and they keep organizing different things. So all that they do will be in this. Then we will have a centralized placement file, academic and career counseling. We will have list of courses that we conduct. For every course, there should be a file. Like we have, as I told you yesterday, more than 100 courses are there. So for every course, there is one coordinator who will maintain the files under that head. Like we offer 40 career-oriented courses. We offer some 28 skill-oriented courses. So there is one coordinator who will maintain that file, giving details of all courses, who are the resource person, what did they do, what is the evaluation. It is very nice to create an IPR cell, if that is intellectual property rights cell. Even if you can't create on your own, you can tag along with somebody. We will be very happy to, if you approach us to join our IPR cell, we can have an MOU for that. It is also interesting to join Institutional Innovation Council. It is an AICT effort under MHRD. So it would be a good idea to take membership of this council. And then you may be having many value-added courses. For example, we have human values, enrichment program, environment courses, computer skills, gender studies, human rights. So as many courses as you have for every course, they will be file. And of course, publication research name looks very small, but this is very important. We should have reprints of all this. At the end of the year, make a bound copy of the reprints of papers published in that given year. Now, the third source of data is administrative committees. Now, these are also centralized committees. Now, there are 34 committees which we have in our college covering different area. I think I will just run through it. If you have any doubt, you can ask me. Admission committee should have the prospectus, the meetings of admission committee, the counseling that was provided to students, then first list, second list, and so on. Number of applications sold, that is very important in documentation. How many applications were sold? Then alumni committee, anti-ragging, very important. You should display it very prominently that there is an anti-ragging cell. You try to involve some parents in that cell. You can also invite the local police department to be part of your anti-ragging committee. Attendance committee, very important. Periodically display attendance, send messages, put it on the website. Canteen.
Ma'am, it's stuck, ma'am, from your end, the screen. Kindly give us a minute to start off once again. Looks like there are some technical issues on Smita ma'am's end.
Yes, am I back? Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am, you can continue. Yes,
You just
ma'am.
need to share your screen once again, ma'am.
Is it there? Can you
Not
see
yet,
my screen?
ma'am.
No, ma'am. Once again.
Uh, Give me a minute. Okay, I will share the screen again. Is it visible now?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Okay. Uh, Sorry for this kind of interruption. So these are the various committees: NSS, Outreach, Health Center, have a contact with a local doctor nearby whom we can approach in case of emergency. If they visit once in a while, it is good. Otherwise, also we can approach them. Parent Association, Library Committee, Press and Media Committee, Tours and Travels. You can just, Sanskriti is an interesting committee that is how to promote and propagate our culture. So we have a committee for that. They keep having very interesting programs. Then coming to the next source of data, that is non-academic bodies. You may have some non-academic bodies, some clubs, like at departmental level, you can have clubs like we have one Commerce House of Emerging Entrepreneurs Club. We can have consumer cell, counseling cell, eco club. The Department of Physics has a photography club. We have a registered NGO. We have a diet counseling cell by Department of Nutrition. If you do not have resources, doesn't matter. Call somebody, an expert, and say that once a week this person is available, and then diet counseling can work. Equinox Club, Literary, NCC, NSS, Parampara Club, you can have a tie-up with Intact. Like this, every department can think of starting a club. We have certain centers of excellence, which I can share with you. We have Sahara, you heard, St.Ann's ICT Center, Saksham, St.Ann's Knowledge and Skill Hands-on Movement. Then we have Sacred, Centralized Research Facility, St.Ann's Center for Research and Development. We have an ED cell and we have a Center for Women Studies. That comes to the admin office. They are the great source of data. A lot of quantitative questions will ask this data. You can have finance documents. You can see that list later. It will be shared with you. Every office will have their own system. There's a question, but I think we will wait for that. Then after finance documents, you may have rental agreement, professional taxes paid, EPF paid, minority certificate, corpus fund. All this need to be documented. Now, when we say report from committees, what should an ideal report be? Now, a sample report should have that you meet at the end of a given academic year. In that, you present a report for every activity, faculty and student coordinators, notice to the class students in college, outside colleges, list of participants for your activities. Were there any judges? Any prizes were given? Then report by coordinators, feedback from the participant, photos and signatures. Signatures are very important. For every document, somebody should sign, either the convener or coordinator or head. And if nobody is there, principal will sign. Okay? And then the report should have plan for the coming year. Again, the committee members, which will have principal, 3-4 faculty and students. So like this, for every committee, there should be reports taking up all these details. And then comes to the admin office, non-financial documents, various information, calendar, admission register, fee register, foreign students, faculty profile, MIS data, MHRD communications, notices, national festivals. All this information will be required at office. Continued payment of salary, scholarship, leave, attendance, incentive for attendance, travel grants, seminars, MRPs. All this information should be available in the office every year. Like for UG department, similar things may be for PG department. Little more about their AICT approvals if they are professional courses, number of working days, fee structure, advertisement, interviews, communication with parent university. Now, mentors give very important data. The mentors should have list of mentees, and there should be a data sheet, how we collect student profiles. We should have the academic data, personal data, meeting schedules and plans. Then how are you communicating with the students, with the parents, with the counselors if required? What is their academic progression? First year when she joined, she was like this. So you write your comments at the end of for each student. At second year, these are the things. Whether she has any special needs, that also can be mentored, and the mention can be made in the data sheet. We can also have a peer buddy mentors. What we do at our college is we pair up an experienced faculty with a few junior faculty. So one buddy team is prepared, and there's a great competition who wants to take which young faculty as mentor, or young faculty whom does she want to mentor. So some recommendations also happen, but it's a good learning experience for everybody. So now you have collected data. You have visited those 6 sources of data, and you have all the data. Now, what will we do with this data? How does it move? So you have department data, all those 40 files which I mentioned, you can add more. And we had 30 departments, so 1200 files will go to department only. We have some 60 committees. Now these department data will go for internal audit. IQAC constitutes a team of senior staff members, and they go and verify all the documents in every department every year. At the end of the academic year, we have this internal audit. We give a proper report and recommendation. Then we also have an external audit. We have constituted a team of 3 academicians outside the college. They also come like taxpayer team. They visit every facility, every department. They see our reports. So that becomes the external audit. Be included in the annual report of the department. So as I told you, on the AQR format, departments will give annual report, and then this annual report cells, clubs, all their values are subject. Internal, external, getting billing, then all these informations go to respective deans. They have files which they maintain for all these committees, and it is forwarded to IQAC. IQAC takes it to the data management system. And out of this data management system, you generate AQARs and you generate SSR. Okay. Now, these are some more files which now the data is over. Now it has come to a destinations. So IQAC will have all these files with them, centralized file. They can take from the department and keep a copy of that. So as you go through the list, something different is we have Ann Chronicle, the activities done in the college every year. Then we have an IQAC Chronicle where we collect information from different colleges, what is their IQAC doing, and we file it. It will have, IQAC will have all other books written, magazine. Very important is planning and evaluation committee meetings. Every major decision that we take in college comes via this planning and evaluation committee meeting. It consists of some 10 senior most staff members with a vision for college. All this is discussed with IQAC. IQAC coordinator also is a part of this. So it is very good to have all these documents, awards and honors of faculty. And for all the courses, the information will be there. If you have CP status, all that documentation will be there. So IQAC will also have files of best practices, audit, internal, external, being autonomous, academic council meetings, board of studies meetings, learning body meetings. It's very important to prepare an LMS, learning management system. Ready-made ones are available. You can buy if you want, but we didn't buy, we developed our own LMS. In that, we have included the examination system, the academic information, the e-result, all this is connected to the LMS. Feedbacks are very important, signed, they have to be presented in the governing body meetings. Then we have a newsletter. IQAC, we have an interesting, as Mrs. Vijayvalli told, coffee with coordinator. Every year I will call all heads one at a time and discuss free and frank discussions on what needs to be done, what is good, okay, what is not good, very important. Some more files with IQAC. One thing new which we have is theme of the year. Every year we dedicate one theme, and then every department does something connected to that theme. This is our best practice, this is our innovation, and this is something which we enjoy thoroughly. Then likewise, we have Dean Administration, who will have all these committees under her, so files will go to her. She is responsible largely for the infrastructure and the faculty matters. Allotment of people to committees, very important. They will have timetable, self-appraisals by the faculty, then by heads recommended, and then finally signed by principal. Principal will be very busy signing documents all the time. Then Dean Student Affairs will have all the student data, anti-ragging, cultural committee, various committees. We have something called SQAC, Student Quality Assurance Cell. So they do number of activities on their own, everything recorded, documented. And very important every time is action taken. You collect something, then what did you do? What was the outcome? Was it impactful? Did it make a positive impact? So that is about data and documentation. And now certain things which we should do with the data destination. Website updation is very important. Your website should have all the informations, institutional data like policies, strategies, as Mrs. Vijayvalli told, all policies should be placed on the website. RTI tab is very important, right to information, code of ethics, course structures, department data, LMS, programs. Here we need not mention the list of students. We can just say these are the programs that we offer for different category of students. Books authored, just keep a title of the book, consultation policy. All these policy matters should be there on your website. What are the ICT facilities that you have? Your program objectives, program specific objectives, course objectives, syllabus, scroll of events, infrastructure highlights, achievements of staff and students, feedback taken and action taken report, service rules, student handbook, and annual reports of IQAC, minutes of meeting. These are all mandatory to be kept on the website. In addition to that, you can keep individual data department-wise with one good photo and personal profile and achievements, update year after year. Department data with the same thing every year. What are the major events that are organized? So, data processing time. We will have at the first stage hard copies of it. That is must. So from the hard copies, we put them in files, and then it's a good idea to move towards the soft copies. So we should enter all this data in soft form. When we started in 2004, it was only hard copies. Slowly it became blended. Some are still hard copies, some are in soft form. Then all this data entry should be taken up before the department audit is over. We should finish it. And then this will become a part of the academic information management system. And this will be sorted out criteria-wise. The criteria teams are very interesting. Once they know they belong, we divided categories in the year one itself, so that for 5 years, that is close to their heart. This is my criteria. When we sit for a meeting, we sit only next to our criteria team. It becomes a way of life for us. And then there we have to divide a system of indexing and cataloging. Okay? So the validated data has to go to academic information management system. There are two ways of doing it. One is centralized, customized package. Many companies, software companies are now preparing this academic information management system. If you have money, go and buy them. They are very good. But if you want to do on your own, you can have a blended mechanism. Prepare your own method of collecting information, prepare your own databases, and which will have a lot of scan material. Scanning is very important. I think a college should buy at least 4 or 5 scanners. In the process of our data validation only, we killed 2-3 scanners. For everything, they wanted scan copy. Student social status, scan copies. When we have 4,000 students, you can imagine how many scans we took. Team worked almost 20 hours per day to take scans. Now, how do we decide to index the data? Now, we know for each criteria, there are criteria indicators, there are quality indicators, and for each indicator, there are questions. So for example, criteria 1.1 has 4 questions. So like this, the IQAC can prepare folders for each of these files. So for criteria 1, we will have 4 plus 3 plus 3 plus 2, 12 files. Now this is the IQAC responsibility to give nomenclature to these files, databases, and then for every department, you give a 3-letter unique code. Like for example, the first file of criteria 1 should be called ENGC 1.1.1. And when you click on that, it should take you to the template given by NAAC. So a department will enter in this file, and Centralized, it will be available at IQAC. You can devise your own mechanism. We have done like this. We found it quite useful. We are further improving on that. But we didn't buy anything. We will develop on our own in time. A best package, maybe we can sell it to others. Now, before we go for SSR, we have to give IAQA, that is Institutional Information for Quality Assessment, any time of the year. You must have a college ID as per All India Survey of Higher Education. You should have a government grant in aid document. Your website should be ready. Your UGC certificate of 2F and 12B should be ready. Date of recognition and their validity from AICT or MCI, DCI, depending on whatever courses you have. Any CPE status, autonomy status, list of programs offered important, approval, affiliation by university, latest approval is required. Okay? Then details of other things you can see, details of AQAR that you are submitting. So these are the various steps involved. So the role of IQAC is very, very important. As I told you, all the weight is on the shoulders of IQAC. Yes, I have come to an end, but before I end, one more thing I would like to say. You may still have other data. You may have still more information. That is why NAAC has a tab, additional information for every question. So whatever you want to share, don't feel shy. Just put it in additional information. It will be good to do that. So thank you so much for your patient hearing for a long topic. But it was important. My shoulders are strong. Your shoulders should become stronger. Thank you so much, all my dear participants. We are always available to you. You can approach us. My team members, my resource person will be happy to share their information with you. Maybe not in person now, but definitely by way of virtual seminars, they will be available to discuss each and everything. I can vouch for it. They will be available for you. And same is the case. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. Now I request Lieutenant Lydia to take a few questions from chat box.
Hello, ma'am. Thank you for the session. It was very nice. And your question is by Dr. T. Akiraju. Madam, could you please explain the procedure for documenting the financial support of students or faculty to students? Could you please explain the procedure?
Please repeat the support.
Yeah, the financial support of faculty to students.
Okay. See, suppose I'm paying fees for somebody. It's not very nice. We should be humble and modest, but it demands, so we can ask student to give me a letter that she needs some kind of assistance. then I will reply to her that I'm happy. If I want some documents, like sometimes we ask them, submit your memos. We want to see that whether you are a meritorious student or it is on the need base. So we can ask for some documents. So there will be some documents, and then we can tell her that we are very give you this kind of support. That will be a documentation.
Yeah. Next question by Mohammed Ali, ma'am. Could you please throw more light on Sanskriti committee?
Yes, Sanskriti is to showcase our Indian culture. We all of us feel, especially older ones like us, youth is going away from traditions. Youth is moving away from the culture. So we have one day when we say food of country. So one fair like that where every state food is given. We have a fashion show showing the handicrafts of India, different kind of fabrics of India. So these kind of activities can be done on Sanskriti. We have a tie-up with Speakmaking. We organize cultural programs, purely traditional classical music program, dance programs. Sometimes you can put tickets also for such things. So all this we will be contributing to the Sanskriti of institution, college and the country.
Okay. Next question by Sujata, ma'am. Women Empowerment Cell comes under which category, ma'am?
It's a category by itself. It is a separate department, as I mentioned, that we have some non-academic departments. So it's an independent, autonomous body in autonomous college. It is headed by director. You heard her, Ms. Poppy Devi Nath. She is the director of Center for Women Studies. She also offers courses. 2 courses are offered by this department, and number of activities, including celebration of Women's Day, honoring women, giving St.Ann award, Shreyasi award to women. It's an independent department.
Yeah. Another question by Sujata. Ma'am, what is the difference between extension and linkages?
Extension is what you do. I'm doing an academic extension activity because I'm giving a lecture. What is the, you said linkage. Linkage is I am in touch with St.Anne's College. I asked them that I want to organize a seminar, so please give me a resource person. So I have developed a kind of bonding, a kind of linkage, and there's a communication that I'm asking St.Anne's College to provide resource persons for A, B, C, D programs. So that is my linkage with them. And what I'm doing with that linkage is the extension academic extension activity.
Next question by Curie. Will the subjects that are mandatory for subjects like, will the projects that are mandatory for subjects like computer science and zoology come under this criteria? I guess it's criteria 1.
Yes, go ahead. Don't miss on anything. Don't feel shy. You exaggerate and put everything. Even if it's mandatory, you are making students to do it. They are doing it. They are working hard for it. Mention it. And as I told you, if you don't find a place, put it in additional information.
Okay. Another question by Dr. T. Akiraju. A few students on their own get jobs in the companies which did not conduct any formal recruitment process either on campus or off campus. Can we include these students under college placement number?
Yes, my first answer is yes. Do that. At least today you say there's a small committee of these 2 members who are encouraging students to go for placements. So even if it is by their own efforts, the training is provided by the college. So I think we can write it. As I said, we can't be very modest sometimes. Yes.
Okay.
Next.
Yeah. Next question by Dr. S. Mohammed Gauss. Madam, please explain what is seed money in research.
Seed money is the financial assistance given by an external organization. But to encourage research, the college management can allocate some money, let us say 5,000 rupees, to 4 members. So there will again be a communication that I'm asking, our research committee invites application from the faculty member whether they want to have a small research project. We shortlist, we conduct an interview, and then each one is given 20,000 rupees per year per project. So seed money is which management should give. If it's a government college, if there is no provision for seed money, the research cell or the management or the IQAC should be able to explore private funding for research. Yes, Lydia, next.
Okay. And Mohammed Ali continues his question, ma'am. Is it equal to the activities of EBSB of RUSA?
Come again.
Yes, ma'am.
RUSA, if they are specifically, if RUSA is specifically saying that this money is to be used for research, yes, you can use it.
Okay. That's it for now, ma'am.
Thank you, Lydia. Thank you, ma'am, for your wonderful session and excellent presentation. And ma'am has highlighted about work pyramid for NAAC and how to maintain academic record for NAAC assessment from criteria 1 to criteria 7, and how to maintain record and make documentation in a correct way. I'm sure it will help the participant to write SSR and AQAR to get good grade. Thank you, ma'am, for your wonderful explanation with lot of information. Thank you.